So it's so funny about those crazy thoughts. You're right, Kristi. Like you start paying attention to more like, oh wow, I do this all the time. Like I realized I create drama in my brain all the time from a little tiny little thought. I'll go back to something that happened in the past. Oh my gosh, and then this is gonna happen. And then I have to interrupt myself to be like, this is not happening now, Nina. This is like now you're making a whole new scenario. Like maybe I should have said this or I should have done this. And I'm catching myself a lot more and realizing how much angst I cause myself on a daily basis because I'm
Yeah.
creating all these extra dramas. I'm a drama queen. I should write more, I think, with the dramas I create in my head. Maybe they could become some Netflix mini series. Who knows?
I
But
think we all probably have a Netflix mini series going on in our minds, on and off.
probably, probably. But
With conversations that we create with people that actually usually don't even manifest.
no, and I've been in crazy moods because I've created this whole thing in my head, and then the person I see in the next 10 minutes is like, why are you so like I just didn't do anything. I just walked in the room. Like, yeah, but I had a whole scenario with you in my head before you got here. I never really knew. And I think part of, we were talking about the consciousness and opening up and understanding what that actually means is what I've learned anyways over the, past few years, and specifically in this last little while, like it's amped up, is what is actually really going on in here. I've read a lot of books, I've done a lot of work, and finally I think I'm in the place where I can say to myself, stop that, Nina. Like, stop that. That's not working for you. Remember, we were talking about like good, bad, and,
Yeah.
right, wrong. But it really, truly, for me, it's been relanguaging it. So it becomes, well, is this way you're thinking or what you're doing and the way you're being, is it working for you? Is it getting you the result that you want?
Right. That's such a good question. Yeah. Is this helping?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, what we're doing is re traumatizing ourselves over and over again. Um, in an effort to get ahead of all these fears we have inside of us. And so the work, whatever practice you choose to go to, I think is whatever gets you back underneath
Mm-hmm.
those fears so that you can really find out what's underneath all of this. What am I actually afraid is going to happen? And can I heal the places of those original pains,
Mm.
original wounds?
That's such a powerful thought, healing the origin, the root cause. I think it's so important to be willing to be open to do that deep work. And it's not comfortable. Like I've done a breathwork session where it's been totally cool and I'm like, wow, this is so cool, and I'm aware of this and I'm aware of that. And then I've done one where it's just, holy crap, I wasn't expecting this to happen, which was like the release of emotions, the actual physical um feelings, I guess, that come out, the shaking and the tension and stuff you don't even realize because you're going through this process. And I think for people who are listening or watching, to understand healing, like you said at the beginning, it's an interesting word, but it's a very powerful word, and it seems to be like the word of the day, recently in recent times, about going through your healing journey. And but it's a thing. It's not
Yeah.
it's I think it's simple, right? If you go and you do the things you're supposed to do, but it's not easy. It's not
Yeah.
easy to open up yourself in that space. And what I loved about doing breath work and being a part of the journey was I did it in a group. For me specifically, I did it in a group. I know people can do them like individually and in groups. I did it in group session. And the most powerful thing for me that I walked away with, aside from all the awarenesses and the things that came up for me that I thought I had healed, quote unquote, air quotes again, was the unique, I don't know how to say this, frequency maybe of when everybody is breathing in and out at the same time. And
Mm.
that just, it's so powerful to be in a space with others and have that. And even if it's one-on-one, when you're practicing with, you're doing the practice with another, I mean, you're also working with another person. You feel this thing, I don't know what to else to call it, but you feel this.
Yeah, it's like a resonance that starts to happen where everybody's moving into this similar frequency and space. And there is a sense of we're all breathing together, and a sense of like a rhythm in the room. And I do feel that when that happens, when because we are energetic beings and mostly water, and our bodies behave like tuning forks, that when one person in the room releases something they no longer need, or experiences a big healing, a big gift of beautiful energy and a more balance coming into their system, that resonates through the whole room and everyone receives it.
Wow, that's, I didn't even think about that. I loved what you said, like we're tuning forks, because I learned something new today that we're like these tuning forks. And because
Yeah.
we're water, yeah, that makes so much sense, the ripple effect of it going across the room. And just so that people understand, you don't have to be physically in the same space. I've also done breath work online with a group of people as well, and had a profound experience in that space too. So, because I know you offer it in different ways and different modalities. Are you offering it both online and in person? Like, how do you actually offer your breathwork sessions?
So I offer them mostly online at this point. And online, I do both the group work and my one-on-one work. And occasionally I do them in person. I did lead a retreat this last summer,
Mm.
and so got to be with a large group of people all breathing together, and it was just so beautiful. And so I'm hoping to do more uh singular breathwork journeys in person again. And just like you said, no matter where we are in the world, when we breathe together, even if it's online, there is profound healing and shifts taking place. And sometimes being in the safety of your own home and knowing that you don't afterwards have to jump up and drive somewhere
Mm.
really allows you to go very deep in a way that you might not if you, in the back of your mind, are thinking like, okay, my parking runs out in an hour, and I want to beat traffic, and I need to go to the grocery store. And you just get to, like, if you're home, you get to let go of all those things. And I think that I've noticed a big gift in that for people.
Mm. I never thought about it that way, but yeah, I get that, because I think there's also, for those of us out there who are self-conscious about what happens when you're experiencing the breath work, it can be so many different things. It can be very deep and profound. It can be joyous. There's so many different things that happen. And I know that I have in a situation been in person and also been like, ooh, wow, I don't want to make the, like, you want to like let go and physically and say something or do something, and you see others doing it. And I was like, I don't want to do that. But I think that if I was in my own space in that moment, I would have been more open, because I could put myself on mute. I, do the
Right.
work, or, however it is that you want to go about doing the work. So I think it's great that you brought that up, where, you know, wherever anybody feels comfortable to
Uh,
do the work, and it's so profound. And I did want to ask you another question before we kind of
yeah.
round off our time together, because you're also a Reiki healer, and
Mhm.
as am I. But how do you, or do you incorporate Reiki healing as you're doing the breath work? Like, what does that look like? Or there's no other, or like, what does it actually, what's it look like when you're in that situation?
It depends. I don't, I know that you practice Reiki as well.
Mm,
And once you've done it for a while, I know this happens to a lot of Reiki practitioners when someone around you needs Reiki, or, a pet or a situation, it like turns on in your hands. You feel the energy just start to pour through. So I usually just use that as my guide.
mm,
And so whether I'm when we learn Reiki, we also learn distance
yes.
healing for Reiki. So again, you don't have to be in person. So whether I'm in person or online, if I feel the energy turn on, I just use that as a signal from divine source to send Reiki energy into the space or to the person that I'm working with. And again, that can happen over any distance, time, space. We can send Reiki without going too far off into a tangent, into the past, into the future, into other lifetimes. So it's really, once you understand the nature of energy and that we're shifting timelines all the time, and that linear time as we know it only exists as a construct in the 3D, and that really we aren't limited in any way